Robert Owen.
Well, he wants to start low in the treble 20. That's not happened. So Koltsov will have the chance to take out 68.
Boris, you require 68.
Take the first leg of the European Darts Matchplay 2018. Double four will do it.
Games from the first leg. Boris Koltsov.
Double four does do it.
Second leg, Robert.
Now, Boris,
game on.
The leading exponent of steel-tipped darts from Russia, certainly in the male game, on it, Anastasia Dobromislova, has been flying the flag for Russia for a number of years in the women's game. But I think this lad's got talent. We've seen him at the World Cup.
140.
Have seen him play at Ali Pali as well. He made the first round 3 years ago. But he's also started playing Challenge Tour. And this year, he's only played 2 Challenge Tour weekends. He's made 3 quarterfinals, and he's chucked 100 average twice. And his very first game on the Challenge Tour averaged 112 this year in a 5-0 win over the Phoenix Jim Walker. He has got serious talent, as Boris.
140.
Yeah, the standout performance that everyone will have seen was the one featuring him and Alexander Oreshkin at the World Cup when they whitewashed Australia in the pairs last year in reaching the quarterfinals. Strange to see Simon Whitlock and Oreshkin on the stage at the same time, wasn't it?
94. Boris, you require 155.
Well, let's see if you can display that talent here. Not in this visit, so Owen with a chance to level up.
Robbie, you require 52.
Ooh, a little bit close to busting his score there.
Games from the second leg.
No bother with the dart at double 16. $140. Winner of this will face the winner of the Danish Darts Open, Mensur Suljevic, number 6 seed here this weekend.
81.
Yeah, a little like last weekend, a lot of the games look very difficult to call. The draw
60.
seems to have put together people in similar stages in their career. You look through the afternoon, you've got Vincent van der Voort taking on Justin Pike, 2 men around the top 32 position in the world. And then you've got the likes of Marjanovic against Watermena, 2 men have been performing well lately. And from next game but one, Darren Johnson and Paul Rowley, not only are they in similar situations in terms of trying to hang on to their tour card at the end of the year, but they throw almost exactly the same as well. Before that, we've got
83.
Jason Lowe against Keegan Brown.
Yeah, a few Euro Tour debutants here this weekend, including
100.
Boris. Boris came through the Eastern European qualifier. It's only the second time he tried to qualify for one of these. The other one he was beaten by Christoph Ratajski in the semi-finals of qualifying.
98.
This one he beat Karol Sedlacek.
104.
104. He's on the 18s route. He has to stay there to try and leave double 16, which he has done.
88.
Great dart, that second one.
Yeah, it was. Stepped across, didn't he? Tried to find a clear route and managed to find it. Of course, the seeded players come into the action tomorrow. A bit of news, if you're not aware of it, that we will bring to you after this leg. We will bring to you now. Peter Wright has opted out of this event. The first time that we've ever had a European Tour event without snakebite in it. Deciding to concentrate on rest and recuperation ahead of the World Series events next month.
Well, he was always going to duck out of the one in Hildesheim, which is when the Euro Tour resumes after the World Series Down Under, so the back end of August, start of September. But this one kind of came out of the blue with snakebite, and you can understand it. I mean, we've just been... How many days of darts have we had over the last 2 weeks, Merv?
I think we've had, at the end of this tournament,
43.
I think we worked out we'd have had 13 out of 24 days of live stream darts. That's not including qualifiers, so players have had to come through qualifiers.
180!
First 180 of the European Darts Matchplay, and it goes to the Russian Boris Koltsov.
Yeah, many players. I mean, this last week after playing Denmark last Sunday, travel to Barnsley on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday play there, and then head back the European players for qualifiers here last night.
Yeah, it has been pretty hectic for players like Paul Rowley and Jason Lowe, who were both on my flight last night with a 3-hour delay, getting in just before midnight, and they're on games 2 and 3 this afternoon.
Well, the travelling's not bad enough. They've got you uttering daft syllables to them en route as well.
43. Robbie, you require 156.
I know the feeling, boys.
You know that feeling of chucking in the treble 1 when you're going for a 156 checkout. I guarantee that. First break of throw could be coming in here. 20 for tops.
Games from the fourth leg. Boris Koltsov.
Well, Boris Koltsov
Fifth leg, Boris
has produced a 15-dart break there after taking 6 visits to the board to hold his throw in the first 2 times that he did win a leg. And that means that Robert Owen, had he been throwing level 15 darters right the way through this, he'd be 4-0 up.
78.
It's not quite at the level he wants from himself. You see him shaking his head there. So often we see players, 58. If they're missing just above the treble 20, that's perfect for him. Robert Owen is the exact opposite. Wants to miss just below.
Koltsov looking confident so far on his European Tour bow.
I'm trying to think. I think he must be the first Russian we've seen on the Euro Tour. Alexander Oreshkin hasn't qualified for any.
100.
Anastasia had stopped playing PDC darts by the time. I can't think that we've had another Russian on the Euro Tour.
108!
Oh, flying the flag. Second max, both to Boris.
100. Boris, you require 103.
Has a quite famous darting nickname, by the way. You may have heard Elmar announce Boris to the stage as the Viking.
140. Boris, you require 66.
What's up?
46.
Well, it's opened the door slightly for Owen here.
Lot of head shaking going on from the man from Bridgend. And you can understand it because he's 4-1 down. Another 6-visit hold of throw for Boris Koltsov.
Second European Tour appearance of the year for Robert Owen, and the first one didn't go very well, did it? A 6-0 defeat to Martin Schindler at the European Darts Grand Prix. It looks like he could well be heading home early here too. And the contrast, as you said, to those performances that he put in last year, had a quarter-final run at the Dutch Darts Masters, beating the likes of Christo Reyes and Simon Whitlock on the way. As Owen has not been able to get going.
123.
And those stats that we've just seen tell the story. Boris Koltsov massively outscoring Robert Owen until this leg,
140.
which has meant that Robert has only had 1 dart at double in the entire match. And even then, he nearly didn't get that because he almost bust his score.
97. Robbie, you require 155.
You mentioned earlier on that Koltsov has been impressing on the Challenge Tour. Well, he was very close to securing a place on the Pro Tour. He missed out by 1 match. He lost to Gabriel Clements in a semi-final at the inaugural PDC European qualifying school here in Germany.
And we've already seen how good a player Gabriel Clements is. He's a 2-time finalist on the Pro Tour in his very first year. Double top for Robert Owen. It's his first dart missed at double. And it's quickly followed by his second, and Koltsov has a chance for another break and a 5-1 lead, and I think this might be endgame if it goes. Double-double. Oh, maybe double-double was the shot, Boris.
48. Robbie, you require 20.
Cannot afford to miss.
Games from the fifth leg. Robert Owen. 7th leg Boris to throw.
Well, there we go. Our esteemed spotter, Jacques Neulaert, Mr. Darts in the Netherlands, has just confirmed Boris is the first Russian to play on the European Tour. We've had all kinds of nationalities represented.
121.
Daniele Petri of Italy, first Italian.
Saw a Brazilian in the crowd there, Diogo Portela.
100.
He's not Brazilian next to him, he's from Birmingham. Mac Elkin, manager of a number of top players, including
97.
Kim Huybrechts, who will be in action this weekend looking to make the World Match Play.
134.
In fact, we had a rather daft situation this weekend. Richard North is just outside of the places for the World Match Play. So that Englishman will be supporting a Belgian this weekend, which is probably not what was going on last night in the football.
Well, you say that.
131. Robbie, you require 143.
143 for Robert Owen. Well, that's that. 36 for Koltsov in a moment to move within one leg.
43.
A victory on his European Tour debut.
Boris, you require 36.
For the best leg of the match.
Games on the 7th
13 darter. And the Russian
8th leg, Robert to go first.
has
Game on.
put in a very solid performance. Thus far, at least.
83. 100.
Just to inform you, we were going to have another European Tour debutant this weekend, Jim Brown, but he's had to pull out through medical reasons, which meant an extra spot for the
100.
qualifiers last night.
Well, 2 extra spots with Peter Wright.
Yeah.
James Wilson moving up into the seedings, which is a mixed blessing for James Wilson, the biscuit. Number 16 seedings mean a potential third round meeting with Michael van Gerwen, but he's guaranteed to go into the second round stage, £2,000 prize money. But not ranking money if he loses his first match.
He was on my flight actually last night, James Wilson, and he was kind of at a loss with what to do with himself today.
Well, Robert Owen might find himself at a bit of a loss with what to do for the rest of the day here, because Boris Koltsov is 3 darts away
Boris, you require
from sealing a spot in the second round on his debut on the European Tour. Bullseye for Boris.
96. Robbie, you require 143.
It's a long shot, and the shot has gone.
89.
And Robert Owen
Boris, you require
could be going
25.
in a few moments' time. Owen, gone. Boris Koltsov moves through to the second round of the European Darts Match Play on his European Tour debut. The Russian through to take on the Danish Darts Open champion Mensur Suljovic tomorrow. We'll be back in a few moments' time when a clash of 2 Englishmen takes to that stage, Jason Lowe and young Keegan Brown. But first, let's have a quick word with the winner of match 1, Boris Koltsov.
Auftaktgegner von Mensur Suljovic fest, denn wird es mit Boris zu tun bekommen. Boris, congratulations. First winner of the weekend. Satisfied with the game?
I'm very happy. It's my first time in Euro Tour. Thank you very much for all the people, for Hamburg. Thank you very much.
Were you in Russia to see how the World Cup is running in football?
Yeah, I see, but I see in TV. I don't go in. Yeah,
Russia is still in the tournament. Yeah. Mensur Suljovic, next opponent. He played the final here last year. He won Copenhagen. He won the Danish Open. One of the top 10 players.
Yeah, he's a good player. I see his game in Copenhagen. But we see tomorrow. If I play my game, maybe I have some chance.
See you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Boris. Boris Koltsov. Sagt, ist nicht so ein ganz großer Fußballfan, schaut sich alles im Fernsehen an, wenn er auch in Russland ist bezüglich der Fußball-Weltmeisterschaft. Froh, jetzt hier zum ersten Mal auf der European Tour auch mit dabei zu sein und morgen also gegen Mensur Suljovic. Wenn er selber gut spielt, hat er vielleicht eine Möglichkeit, aber auch Boris weiß natürlich, dass Mensur zurzeit in richtig guter Form ist. Das war also Match Nummer 1. Jason Lowe gegen Keegan Brown ist die zweite Partie. Bis gleich.